Hello everyone, Marshall here with another astronomy vlog. A lot has changed in the last couple weeks. I've got a lot of new stuff to show you guys, so without further ado, let's just go ahead and let's dive right in. Alright, so we picked up the telescope. It's in the back. Hopefully it doesn't roll around too much back there. Probably going to need to be recoated, but yeah, we're going to take it out when we get home, see what kind of shape it's in, and go from there.
The viewfinder red dot still works.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
So the battery's still good?
Battery's still good on it.
Last weekend, I bought a second telescope used on Facebook Marketplace for $450 from a guy about 30 minutes away in Durham. The telescope is an Orion XT8 Dobsonian with an aperture of 203 millimeters and a focal ratio of 5.9. The other telescope I've been using is a 114 millimeter with a focal ratio of 8. So it's approximately twice as powerful. Twice as powerful doesn't necessarily mean things are twice as large at the same focal length, but it does add quite a bit of detail to views with the eyepieces. When I got the scope, however, it definitely needed some work. Not sure how the previous owner had stored it or used it, but the mirror was in not so great shape. The tube and the base themselves were also kind of dirty, and the azimuth movement of the base, or the left and right movement, felt a little stiff and scratchy. Now, I did clean up the mirror and fix up a few things, but before I did, I wanted to show you just how resilient telescope mirrors are. So here's some footage of Saturn before I did anything to the mirror. Alright, so attempt number 2, same night, still really miserable out. I've already gotten 1 or 2 mosquito bites here, but I managed to see it through the telescope, and honestly, I can't even believe like how good it looks even on a night like this. You can see the Cassini division, you can see the shadows of the rings being cast on the planet, and you can see the planet casting the shadow on the rings behind it. It's incredible. So I'm going to try and get the phone on the mount and see if we can maybe do a little bit of shooting. Again, it isn't even going to be that great based on the condition of the mirror, but through the eyepiece it looks pretty incredible. Afterwards, I got around to cleaning everything up, including the mirror. But of all things, the mirror clip screws were seized, and I literally broke them all off in order to get the mirror out. The mirror clips are what hold the mirror in place to the cell, which has 2 parts that allow you to adjust collimation, which is then attached to the bottom of the optical tube. Luckily, my brother can handle this pretty easily, but I would have to wait a few days for him to do the work. In the meantime, I made some adjustments to the base. The base has some Teflon pads that are stapled to the bottom, so it turns more smoothly, but some of the staples had either not been put in very well or had kind of slid out, which was causing the somewhat scratchy movement of the azimuth axis. I simply tapped them back in with a hammer and a screwdriver and used some bar soap to make the motion much smoother. Alright, we're refilling the tub here. Got the first soaking done, and it looks like tried it just on the edge here with some cotton balls. I didn't want to go too much farther than that. Don't worry, there's still lots of water on there right now, so that looks all grainy, but we're going to once again soak it one more time, maybe a little bit longer, and then we're going to go at it with some cotton balls and get it. I think it'll look at least reasonable after we're done with that. So, yeah, exciting.
There's the puppy. Lucy's enjoying the life. Can you say hi, Lucy? Say hi.
After I got the mirror cell back with some new screws, I reassembled everything, and it was time to put it to use. Again, I want to point out how even after cleaning the mirror, the image quality really isn't noticeably better. Of course, I'm still glad I took the time to do it, and even if it's hard to tell, it does still make a difference in image quality. In addition to the new telescope, the astronomy camera I ordered also showed up in the mail. It showed up the day of the monthly Astronomy Club open meet, so I set up the software on my laptop and took it with me to the meet. This was also Calvin and I's first time at a star party, and we really didn't know what to expect. We took both of our telescopes with us, and I'm glad we did. There were a lot of people there, non-club members, that didn't have their own telescopes that just wanted to look through them and see. So Calvin and I spent a good bit of time just showing people Jupiter and Saturn through both of the telescopes.
The reflectors at the back end of it.
Yeah, so what happened? It was like...
Oh yeah, somebody came up to the inch, and they're like, "Can I look through it?" And they went behind the telescope and squatted down to look through the back, and they're like, "Where did I look through?" And I'm standing on the side over here.
But our main goal was to meet some club members and see what kind of gear other people were using so we could think about what to buy next. Luckily, there was a club member nearby with an astrophotography rig, and I got a chance to see his setup and also some of the images he was taking of the Omega Nebula. They were being sent straight to his phone from his tablet, which I thought was really cool. He also helped to get my astronomy camera working, which I used to get a little bit of footage of Jupiter. Results didn't turn out super great, but I'm sure by fixing user errors, I'll be able to get some pretty great images with it in the future. The astronomy camera that I have will be a welcome replacement to using my iPhone. After several months of using this eyepiece phone mount, I've really gotten sick of getting it set up and getting it adjusted and all the finagling you had to do. So again, the astronomy camera will definitely be much appreciated. After my experiences in the last couple months, again, it's really clear to me that I need a tracking mount. While the smaller telescope has really great views, again, the equatorial mount that it came with is just basically shot at this point and needs replacement. And the Dobsonian telescope mount is just simply too hard to use for imaging due to its lack of fine movement. I'm still determined to try for now, but will definitely be buying a new mount as my next big purchase. Hopefully that will be sooner rather than later, but again, thanks to availability, I'm not getting my hopes up. That's all for today. Until next time, not just clear skies, but hopefully smokeless skies.
Would you please leave?